Checkmate king 2. This is white rook over. Checkmate king 2. This is white rook over. Some days you're going to get to the, in fact, I'm sure you probably already have. Although maybe not. Maybe you haven't started teaching yet. You know, maybe you're new to teaching. And you're looking for some ideas on if you're going to like it, or if you think it's a good idea to go into it, or, you know, how you're going to manage it. Because, you know, it's a job. It's a job, baby. It ain't college. It's a job. It's hard in a different way. That's all. But there are going to be days when you come to work, you know, and you're tired. You know, the night before things happen, and, you know, you're tired. And, but you're there. You know, and you're there, and you're going to give it a shot. You know, let me tell you, you'll be surprised. Some of your best stuff is stuff you didn't plan on. Some of your best stuff is when you don't feel like you're on your game. Because it frees you up. It frees you up to wing it. See, and what you don't have to worry about is the parameters of the winging it. Because it's all based on time. So, what you do today then is you say, okay, now, as I pace my lessons, those times when those transitional times, how am I going to use them so I can recuperate, but they stay engaged? Okay? Their minds stay engaged. These kids are young. Their mind can stay engaged all day long. Not with the same thing, obviously. Not necessarily, but obviously. But they can take in a lot. There's a lot of brain that hasn't been used yet. There's a lot of memory there that's wide open. So utilize it. Utilize it by utilizing the time available in your classroom. So when you get to your first break, you know, when you're transitioning from large reading groups to small reading groups, okay? It's the very first thing in the morning. So just tell them to do it. Please go to your small groups. Don't give them a time limit. And just let them determine how it is. And no matter what it is, no matter how long it takes them, then you comment on it. You say, first of all, let's say they go from large group, you just read them a story. They're going to go from large group to their small reading groups. That's the transition time, okay? And you tell them to do that. And then you see how long it takes. Don't interact with them at all. Just give them the instruction and wait till they're done doing it. And then comment on it. Comment on it, not the activity itself. Not how they move their desks from where they were to where they are. Talk to them only about the time it took them to do it. Give time context for them. Let's say, for example, they did it in 4 minutes. That's pretty darn good. And that's what you tell them. You know, you did that in 4 minutes, and that's pretty darn good. Well, let's say they did it in 15 minutes. Then you say, you know what? You guys are finally done, and it's been 15 minutes. But I'm in charge of time here, aren't I? What happened that time? Then you talk about the fact that you didn't give them a time limit and what the repercussions of it was. So what that does is it shows them, either directly or indirectly, depending upon how their brain perceives the information, that the use of their time is something they're in control of. And that's what you want to get them to do. Get them to understand that if they control their use of time, then their lives will be much more orderly. And they'll have more time for leisure. Because that's the second thing you do as their teacher. You say, you know, it only took you 4 minutes. So that means I'm going to give you an extra 4 minutes at the end of the day today. Or actually, some other time during the day. I'll decide when it's going to be because I'm in charge of time. Or if they take 15 minutes, you say, well, you know, that took 15 minutes. And that's too long. I know it's too long because I am in charge of time and how you guys use it. That's too long. Now you're going to have to make up that time. And there's only two places you can do it. You can do it inside the classroom or you can do it outside of the classroom. What's the only place? Those two places. Yeah, or something like that. So that's how it works. And while that is happening, you're resting because you're not interacting with them. All you're doing is sitting at your desk, leaning back, watching them do it. That's all. They ask you a question, of course you answer. You're the teacher. They don't ask you a question, you don't answer it. You don't say anything. Now, how long? There's the question, do you let it go forever? No, you're in charge of time. You decide how long it should let go. 14 minutes was arbitrary. Maybe they get to 6 minutes and you say, hey, you guys need to hustle it up. This needs to be done in 3 more minutes. But always give them a time limit. See how it works? White Rook out.